Good day, Coach. Good day, everyone. Hi, my name is Carl Vincent R. Aguirre, your little teacher from Study Hub number 3. So, we're going to make a video presentation about the Activity 6 responding to demands of society focusing on Education 4.0. Ms. Babiera will going to discuss to us the impact to education and industry and how it will help transform the world. Ms. Kabatingan is going to answer the question, why should higher education institutions focus on Education 4.0? So the question number 3 will be answered by Mr. Bonocan, and the question is, why do you think Education 4.0 is truly and relevant in helping the education industry? What is your best justification to support your claim? So Mr. Bonocan is going to answer the question and explain to us. Lastly, Ms. Torres will give us the conclusion about the topic, specifically the lesson 6, responding to demands of society focusing on Education 4.0.
Good day, Coach. Good day, everyone. I'm Trisha Babiera, and I will be the one to discuss Education 4.0. So, Education 4.0 is what we call the current state of education with all the digital tools and the newly designed education's goals. The project drive approach that Education 4.0 supports helps students learn in a fun and interesting way. So, the way Industrial Revolution 4.0 is transforming the world, technologies like the Internet of Things, IoT, Big Data, and Artificial Intelligence, or AI, are impacting major industrials and, in turn, jobs. It can be considered like the replacement of manual jobs by machine-handled tasks that occurred as a revolutions in the 21st century. This implies that Industrials 4.0 will not only affect industrials but consequently will transform the way jobs and education will be seen. So, the fourth Industrial Revolution will affect the rules for which today's student will be prepared. This will require educational institutions to produce a workforce for working in this technologically transformed era. So, it will also require the current workforce to upgrade their skills and knowledge to match these newly created job roles. For this, a revolution in education is essential to enable people worldwide to harness the opportunities created by the advent of these technologies. So, an Education 4.0 facility is a facility that allows the use of advanced technologies, including robotics, IoT, digitalizations, automatizations, and teleconferencing, to name few. It is a facility that produces workers who can be competent to work in the modern world.
Good day, Coach. Good day, everyone. My name is Prophet N. Kabatingan, and my topic is the question number 2, which is, why should curriculum and learning outcomes focus on complex 21st century skills? So, 21st century skills are considered the most important skills to succeed in today's workplace. 21st century skills include skills like problem solving, critical thinking, creativity, people management, teamwork and collaboration, emotional intelligence, judgment and decision making, service orientation, negotiation, and cognitive flexibility. Students will need to develop these skills in the classroom so they can have a great careers in the future. So the question is, why should curriculum and learning outcomes focus on a complex 21st century? Because 21st century skills is important, especially in their curriculum and learning outcomes. A 21st century skills-based curriculum pivots away from content acquisitions and rote memorization to focus on the skills and abilities that will best serve our generation of young minds. Students' engagement and hand-ons, interdisciplinary learning are championed over conferring information. A 21st century skills is generally used to refer a certain core competencies, such as collaboration, digital literacy, critical thinking, and problem solving that advocates believe schools need to teach to help students thrive in today's world. 21st century curriculum is the abdomen, finally, and textbook or driven, teacher-centered, paper and pencil schooling, which means a new way of understanding the concept of knowledge and the new definition of the educated person. A 21st century education is one of the respondents to the economical, technological, and societal shifts that are happening at an ever-increasing pace. It's an education that sets children up to succeed in the world, where more than half of the jobs they'll have over their careers don't even exist yet.
Organizations need to stay flexible in order to adopt changes in the environment. Organization flexibility derives from the ability of the strategic decision makers to adopt their cognitive processes to different problems. Fundamentally, there are two types of problems: well-structured problems, for example, implementing a pro upgrade, and ill-structured development completely. New product family is in real-life managers face both types of problems. Both problems can be solved, but they need to be solved in different ways, relying on their different types of cognitive processes. This study finds that cognitive flexibility is the ability that enables decision makers to adjust their cognitive processes to the types of problem. Cognitive flexibility is made up of two main building blocks. First, the ability to identify key problem elements. For example, what are the main customer segments? Second, the ability to recognize and value diversity in the viewpoints. For example, the possible conflicts of your customers as you introduce a new product. We found that cognitive flexibility has a positive impact on performance when solving a ill-structured problem. Cognitive flexibility allows a switch to a slower and more deliberate type of processing. Instead, when solving a well-structured problem, cognitive flexibility allows the switch to a faster and more automatic type of processing. Our contribution in the identification of the cognitive flexibility as a mechanism that enables the switch between the two types of cognitive processing depending on the problem. Next time you are successfully switching between problems, you know what is going inside in your head, and you can thank you for cognitive flexibility. Problem solving is a method teachers can use to guide students through any kind of problem. There are 4 steps to problem solving. Define the problem, make a plan, put the plan into action, and check the result. As an example, you'll see these ants use the 4 steps. The first step is to clearly define the problem, to understand what the goal is, and what is keeping you from reaching the goal. The ants want to move this cookie into their anthill, but it's too big to fit. The second step is to make a plan for solving the problem. This step includes taking about information and ideas that will be helpful. The ants decide to break the cookies into smaller pieces and move them into their anthill. The third step is to put the plan into action. They break up the cookie and move the pieces. And the fourth step is to check the result. It looks like it's working. Sometimes, the plan is not solving the problem. For example, this piece is still too big to fit. But it's okay. The fourth step may need to be done more than once. It's an ongoing process until a solve is found. Define the problem, make a plan, put the plan into action, and check the result.
Good day, coach and classmates. I'm Maria Ena Arabella S. Torres, and I'm tasked to give the conclusion of the activity. Industrial Revolution 4 will transform the way jobs and education will be seen. This will require educational institutions to produce a workforce for working in this technologically advanced era. It will create a blueprint for the future of learning, from school-based learning to learning in the workplace. A few trends in this evolution of learning can be listed down as below. Accelerate remote learning education 4 will enable learning anytime, anywhere, as the e-learning tools and applications will provide opportunity for remote self-paced learning. The role of classroom will be changed, wherein theoretical knowledge will be imparted outside the classroom, while practical or experimental knowledge will be imparted to face-to-face. Personalized learning education 4 will also enable personalized learning for students depending on their capabilities. This means that above-average students will be challenged with tasks that are difficult as compared to students who are below average. This implies that there will be individual learning processes for each student. It will surely have a positive impact as it will enable students to learn at their pace. This will result in better understanding of the concept and overall better result. It will also help teachers to identify the strengths and weaknesses of each student individually and guide them accordingly. Choice of education tools, a part of Education 4, will be the technology or devices used by students to gain an education. While every subject has its own set of knowledge and information that the students can grasp, the road to attaining this knowledge can vary. This means that the students will be able to choose the tools and techniques through which they want to acquire with this knowledge. Techniques like blended learning, bring your own device, and flipped classroom are a few examples of this. Project-based learning, the freelance economy is on the rise and will continue to do so. This means that the student of today will need to adapt to project-based learning and working styles. They will need to hone their skills and learn how to apply and mold them as per situations. Thus, students should be acquainted with project-based learning during high school education. This part of Education 4 will teach them organizational skills, time management skills, and collaborative skills that they can further use in their academic career as well as employment. The impact of technology on the education industry will not only transform the way it is imparted, but also the way students perceive education. Education 4, or the future of education as many call it, will change the teaching learning methodologies to make the students future ready. It is time to witness this change and inculcate it our lives so that we can move towards a progressive, intellectual, knowledge-driven, and future-ready world.